Hi everyone, this is Shannon Shy. Welcome to another installment of Q&A with Shannon about OCD recovery. Thank you everyone for the questions. I will get to them in due time. And if you want to send me a question, you may do so on Facebook, Instagram, my YouTube channel, or send me an email, shannonshy@gmail.com. And if you want to remain anonymous, please do so. Today's question. I would like to anonymously ask these questions for your next Q&A session, if I may. How can OCD not adversely affect your life anymore, even if still present? What does that mean exactly? Can you please explain better? Also, if it is still present, how is it possible that it won't debilitate one's life anymore? Please do it anonymously. I am struggling to accept this disorder and feel a lot discouraged. I want to live a normal life, sleep at night normally, as all people do, off of medications. Thank you. Anonymous. All right. So, first to the last part of that question. Yeah, it's a debilitating disorder. None of us, I suppose, wish that we had it, but we do. All right. And so, if you're struggling to accept the disorder, I think that that is not a productive use of your energy. We have the disorder. Question is, what do we do and how do we do it? Right? We know that it is treatable, so that becomes the focus of our attention. To the question about the presence of OCD and how that cannot have or how we can get to a place where that doesn't adversely affect our lives. The answer lies in logic, in large part, right? So as long as we continue to give an emotional reaction or response, as long as we give value to the thoughts, as long as we fear the thoughts, as long as we perform compulsions, the disorder's presence is going to have an adverse effect in our lives. However, if we learn how to be indifferent to the thoughts, if we learn how not to respond to the thoughts, then they won't have an adverse effect on our lives. If we are indifferent to the thoughts, it means it doesn't matter whether OCD is present. If it doesn't matter if OCD is present, then it cannot have an adverse effect on our lives. With that perspective, the disorder has no meaning in your life. Many sufferers tell me that they wish the disorder would just disappear. That perspective doesn't work because, with that perspective, all OCD has to do is appear and then try to convince us that it means we're never going to get better. We're setting ourselves up for disappointment. We focus on what we control, not what we don't control. What we don't control is whether we have the disorder, when the thoughts come, the content of the thoughts. What we do control is whether we're going to give value to the thoughts, whether we're going to be indifferent, and whether we respond. All right. So the day after I was diagnosed, I read in a bookstore that OCD cannot be cured. I was demoralized. My doctor had not said anything about that. So I confronted my doctor on it. I had just told him things about myself that OCD had convinced me were going to get me kicked out of the Marine Corps, were going to cost me my law license, were going to cost me my family. And I said, "You didn't say anything about this part about not being able to be cured." And he said, "Look, the professionals debate this topic of cure round and round. They don't even know what causes the disorder, much less whether it can be cured." He said, "What I want you never to forget is that people can get to a place where they live virtually symptom free. It's possible to get better." And when he said that, I told myself I'll do whatever it takes if that is true. So I set my goal not to get rid of OCD, but just to get to a place where it doesn't adversely affect my life. even if it's present. And so I developed my strategy and I did the work. What I learned is that if I was indifferent, OCD had no meaning in my life. OCD kept on telling me, as long as I, OCD, am present in your life, you're never going to get better. I didn't accept that as being true, right? I said, if I don't give you value, it doesn't matter whether you're here. And even today, I don't say that I'm cured. OCD doesn't affect me anymore, but I don't say that I'm cured. My perspective is I don't care if OCD comes back. It could come back today, and I wouldn't care because I know exactly what I would do if it does. Right? So the moral of all of this is OCD's presence doesn't have to equal pain in your life unless you allow it to equal pain. You are the one with the power. That power is yours. It cannot be taken from you. You can give it away, but it can't be taken. If it can't be taken from you, why give it away? It is your power to use your courage and your strength, which are within you, to overcome OCD. It is a treatable disorder. You have the power to do so. You get to change the outcome. OCD's presence doesn't have to equal pain unless you allow it to equal pain. I hope that's helpful.